It's time for the chip race.
My name's Kevin Killeen. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Dublin. I've been playing poker for a couple of years. I like it.
And finally, we're here with the man of the moment, Kevin Killeen. Welcome, Kevin. You said that in that pre-Irish Open final table promo, it's a bit famous now, that you like poker. Well, poker certainly seems to like you at the moment. The last 14 months or so have seen you make 3 huge final tables, obviously UK IPT, EPT, and now the Irish Open. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great about it, yeah. It's been a really good year.
How does the Irish Open rank amongst those other results?
It's obviously up there, one of my favourite results, probably my favourite result at home in my hometown of Dublin, so delighted about it.
And are you gutted that it wasn't, a win?
Yeah, of course I'm gutted that I didn't get the trophy. It's nice to get the title and get the trophy, but I made a great deal heads up, so I'm really happy with the result.
Yeah, that was a really good deal. Yeah, you swooped in to try and lock up some equity immediately.
Yeah, I was pushing for an even chop, and he was getting a bit sticky about it, so I gave up a little, and we kind of just shook on it kind of straight away, and that was it. Deal done nice and quick.
Yeah, certainly when I heard the chop, I think I was aware of the chip counts because I was following on Nick O'Hara's amazing system there, and I was really surprised at how even the payouts were.
Yeah, I was pretty happy I got that deal, to be honest. Playing heads up for €100,000 would have been a lot of pressure, and not something many people do. So
yeah, I also think when you come second after having agreed a chop, you always feel kind of better.
It feels like a win, yeah. And looking back on how the heads up went, I thought I played fine. There's not much I could do about it. So
yeah, I watched that from the commentary box, and Giannis Triantafylakis, our Irish Open winner, I think he played really, really well. He might have missed a couple of small spots for value. He could have put you away sooner, but all in all, I think he played really well. The deck fairly hit him in the face, though.
Yeah, apparently he played quite aggressive. I didn't get to see a lot of his holdings, but he did play aggressive and put the pressure on. So fair play to him.
Yeah, well, if it puts your mind at ease, I can tell you now, he definitely had kings a couple of times, and I think he had aces as well.
Yeah, it's pretty sick actually. Yeah, but what can we do? We're happy with the result.
And give us a sense of that journey through the day one, day two. Obviously day one's a bit more of a feeling out time. You're just trying to maybe double your stack or just maybe take it as it comes.
Yeah, well, I came into the tournament full of confidence. I knew the field was going to be okay, but I got good table draws. So I was lucky enough to have some good table draws, and I seemed to chip up well. And when I did eventually hit my big hands, when I did get the ace, king and the queens, they lost, but I still had chips from chipping up. So it was smooth sailing, then losing a bit. Smooth sailing, then losing a bit.
Yeah, well, I think in any tournament it's never going to go well right from start to finish. So you have to be able to take the swings.
Yeah, it was quite up and down. It was quite a swingy couple of days. Now even day 2 and day 3 was still swingy, but.
Yeah, you never seem to let that stuff phase you. You all seem really, really calm at the table. But I remember when you final tabled DPT London, Nick O'Hara actually came to us the night before and said that you'd started in his games, small pub games, I guess he ran, and that he said you were also really very good, very aggressive player, but he thought you went on tilt very easily.
Yeah, that was back in the day out in Rush, a town close to where I live.
Tilty Kevin Killeen, I can just imagine.
I mean, that was 18 years old. I'd just gotten into the game. I had a bit of an ego, of course, back then. People do when they're 18 years old.
Oh, just then, yeah?
Oh, just then. You don't have an ego anymore.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. But like I said, we never really saw that side of you. So, like, did you just grow out of it, or is it something you had to work on?
It's something I learned, and something the players around me and friends around me, when I got into poker, have taught me that tilting is no good, and moaning about bad beats is no good. That's something you can't control. So just keep a focused head. If you get a bad beat or if you lose a big pot, you look down at your stack and just focus on, okay, I've got this much left, and then you just analyse the table, and that's it. You just go from there.
And speaking of situations you can control, there were 2 really key hands on that final table. Again, I was in the commentary box. I was watching it with hole cards. A bit of a treat for me, getting to see all the mad stuff that all these magicians were doing. But there was an interesting one with Ace Queen against Giannis, the guy who eventually took down the event, where he 3-bet you at 9-6, and you were playing quite a shallow stack there. You had 18 big blinds. You raised it up. He 3-bet you. Sort of put you in a weird spot. Most people would think it was all in or fold there.
Yeah, it is. It was quite a weird spot, and it's not really a standard spot. But I felt he was capable of doing it light, and Ace Queen suited is a really it's a really strong hand to take to a flop, especially against a wide range and an aggressive opponent. Also, the fact that there was 3 shorter stacks than me, I wasn't comfortable getting the Ace Queen in. When I jam hit there, he's only going to have a better hand. So I decided to take my strong hand to the flop and see how it goes.
Yeah, it showed real creativity, I thought, with you. We talked about it with Fergal and with Emmett on commentary at the time. You know, this was obviously like a high level, above the rim type of line to take. Most guys would just make their decision, make life easy for themselves. You're not afraid of letting cards fall.
Oh no, I'm not afraid to take it to a flop.
The other big hand that you were involved in on the final table that got a lot of attention on Twitter was your King Queen hand against Donica's Ace Jack. What were you thinking in that hand when you raised the flop?
Yeah, that was another non-standard play by me. I felt that Donica was capable of like check raising for information, and not many players do it, but Donica's more old school, so he definitely has that in his arsenal to check raise a Jack 10 or a 9-10 there. Just to feel it out and see where he's at.
Yeah, I really felt at the time like if you were playing against someone like myself or Dara in that spot, you would have, probably put us on a nuttier kind of, range, hoping to get in against your, top of your range type of hands. In that situation, it just felt like a kind of a feeler bet or a sort of a question
against certain opponents, I would obviously take a different line, but I really just felt that if I put in another raise here, I could put on the pressure and I could get him to fold maybe a Jack 10 or a 9-10, which is the best hand at the moment. So.
Look, the other big thing about the Kevin Killeen Arsenal is his online game. Your Suited Aces Baby on Full Tilt, your Torino 2000 on Poker Stars, 1.6 million in online winnings. I'm going to give the people at home a little summary of your results. You've won the big 162 for 23k back in March 2013. You've final tabled the Full Tilt Brawl 3 times for 24k, 17.5k and 28k. That's third, fourth and first place finishes. You've come second in the Sunday Second Chance for 33k, third in the Full Tilt Major. You've come second in the 100 Rebuy and Stars for 30k. Like, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I've put some good results up on the board online, and I'm hoping to improve on my online game and keep putting them results up.
Yeah, those results of Pocket Fives leaderboard, I know we all sort of follow those. Jude has been pretty much the Irish number one for about 2-3 years.
2 or 3 years, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you managed to pip him there recently. I know he got it back off you, but that must be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it does. It feels great to put results up on the board and to be recognised there on the Pocket Fives leaderboard. Jude's had a good year so far. He's put in some good results, so fair play to him. Keep it up.
And it was lovely to meet your mother again, Mammy Torino, as we call her. She always comes in to support you on these big occasions, and ran into her in the hotel on Monday. She'd actually come up from Kerry, she told me, but she went to the wrong hotel, so got there a little bit late.
Got lost on the way, yeah.
But you always have a great rail. I mean, you had by far the biggest rail on UKIPT Dublin when you final tabled it with all the lads there in their onesies, Finton, your brother, all the boys. And it was the same again. You had by far the biggest rail for this Irish Open. And even in London, I think you had the biggest rail, to be honest.
Yeah, it's awesome to have that great support of friends and family that are willing to come travel around to the events and are willing to come have a party with me. Win, lose or draw, that all my friends and family will be there celebrating with us, so that's great to have.
We were lucky to have Finton on the show last week. He's obviously doing this Twitch business out in Malta. He couldn't be there yesterday. What does it feel like when some of those guys couldn't make it?
Yeah, I was missing most of the original onesie crew, which would have been Finton, who's out in Malta. I got my good pal Steve, who's in Hong Kong at the moment, and then obviously Kevin, who's down in Australia. So.
They were sending tweets in, though. They were sending pictures of themselves in onesies at their computers.
They're all in onesies, yeah. And my cousins actually sent a picture of my grandmother that got in her onesie, and they watched on telly for the day, yeah. So that was awesome.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, listen, it's time for the Torino trivia quiz. Kevin Killeen.
Right, here we go.
I know you've been worrying about this one. You've been worrying about, whether you have the knowledge. I'm going to throw a few old school questions your way. Question 1. Name the well-known Irish bookmaker who first organised the Irish Open in 1980.
I think that's Terry Rogers.
Correct.
Come on.
Question 2. In that hand from the final table where Donica was slow rolled by Andreas, what equity did the A6 of clubs have? Was it A, 16.2%, B, 17.5%, or C, 18.8%?
Yeah, it was A.
It wasn't A, it was B, it was 17.5%. Question 3. Which two-time Irish Open champion also won the WSOP main event in 1999?
No, was it Noel?
Noel, we're gonna need more than Noel.
Noel Furlong.
Correct.
Yes.
Question 4. Matt Damon starred as Mike McDermott in the film Rounders. What was the name of Edward Norton's character in that movie?
I don't know that one.
The Worm. Question 5. Which WSOP main event second place finisher said, "Just play every hand, you can't miss them all"?
I'll
give you a clue. He played against Moneymaker.
Is it Mr. Farha?
Correct, Sammy Farha. Question 6, you got to get this one. How many times has Kevin Killeen made the final table of the Fitz end of the month tournament here in Dublin?
That's 3 times, if I remember correctly.
Correct, you finished 5th, 6th and 7th. And finally, question 7. When you beat Max Silver to claim the UK IPT title in Dublin, what were your winning hole cards?
A king and a queen of clubs.
Correct! Kevin Killeen, top effort there. You know, I think I might put you top of the board, to be honest. We're going to have to do a recount, but I think that might put you right at the top. Listen, thank you so much for coming in. I know you march to the beat of your own drum, but you'll always be one of the firm boys to us. Thank you so much for coming in. Amazing result. We're so happy for you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a million for having us.
Thanks, Kevin.
All the best.